Hi everybody, this is Michelle, your instructor for Edel 423, the online summer version. I thought I'd send you guys a little video to help you get a feel for the modules and what the rest of the quarter will look like. So here I am on our home screen, and I'm hoping this is all showing up like it should. Okay, so if you go to modules, like I've said a couple times, you must navigate this course through modules. If you go out into files or assignments, you're going to get super lost. So in modules, we have completed module 1. Most of you, I think, have done that. The first discussion board for your pre-course reflections was fantastic. I added a bunch of comments today, although you guys answered each other's questions great. I love the dialogue where some of you go out and start researching answers for your classmates. Fantastic. Okay, module 2 was kind of just getting us going, also getting your materials together, making your notebook, making your journal, all of these things right here. So this guy where you were supposed to upload a picture or a video, those are trickling in. I need the rest of those to get here soon. Because you're going to need it as you move forward. Believe me, you don't want to be building your notebook at the same time as you're trying to do these assignments. Okay? Your journal entries, your reading responses should just go into your journals, which you will show me again in week 4. You'll upload another video in week 4 and again in week 6 for your journal checks. Alrighty? Okay, so if you see some stuff on my screen right here where there's no green check mark, that means it's not published on purpose, because those were things for in-person classes, and on this online method, it's just a little different here. Okay, so that's module 2. Most of you should be getting through that and have your books now, and all the kinks should be worked out. So going into module 3, it's going to start moving quickly. So I had originally planned to do like 8 modules or 9 in the final, but I decided that was way too confusing when we only have 6 weeks. It's so much easier to talk about a module as a week. So I have a little sketched out thing I wrote on the side of my desk here that has like the weeks, like the 3rd week of this quarter starts July 1st. So that would technically be like module 3, but if you are done with 1 and 2, you should get going on 3 because you'll need a little bit of extra time for 3, 4, and 5. So what I've done is I've moved most of the due dates for module 3, 4, and 5 to Monday of the week following whatever week that module would be. So if it says module 3, in my head I'm thinking week 3 of this quarter, which means everything would be due the Monday of the next week, which would be week 4. Okay, makes sense? Although I did put your reading due dates a little sooner in the week. There's nothing for you to turn in for those, but that's just so you get that reading done so you can get going on the assignments. Okay, so as you can see in module 3, those slides are not published because we don't get to have a class, but I do have some little short video clips here. So this little guy right here with the little, I don't even know what that's supposed to be, but it's a link. It's an external link icon. I so wish we could color code these tabs because then I would just tell you all the blue ones are the videos, but it doesn't let me do that. So, okay, watch all these little videos. They're just short. Some of them are actually students who've taken the EdTPA talking about the EdTPA. Some of it is just good education material, kinds of discussions I would have preferred to have in person, but this is summer, so it's on video. All right? Okay, now here's an example of that reading. So this is July 2nd, which is only the Tuesday of week 3. And I've already put the due date there. That's because I want you to get going on the reading. Remember these pages? This is the icon for pages. It's a little piece of paper with no pencil. The one with a piece of paper and pencil are assignments. You guys all know this by now, right? So a page means it's a to-do, but nothing to turn in usually. If there is something to turn in, it'll be on another tab. That's like read the task. So by now you should have chosen either math or literacy for your content, for your material, for your subject. That should be in your notebook. And then I want you to actually find task 1 and read it. So here's what I've heard from students over and over again. I'm so glad you made us read those tasks during this class, Michelle, because when we get to student teaching, we don't have time. Okay? The EdTPA writing and creating this assessment is a humongous undertaking. You get to do it at the same time as you're also student teaching. So what you can't do, in addition to that, is learn the EdTPA. It's semi-reasonable to student teach and write the EdTPA. It is not at all reasonable to learn the EdTPA, student teach, write the EdTPA. All those three things just are not going to happen in the same quarter. So that is where this class comes into play. Learn the EdTPA this quarter. Then when you student teach, you just have those two things. Okay? So you need to actually read the task. I'm going to turn my phone off so it's beeping at us. Okay, so there's 3 tasks, module 3, 4, and 5, a module for each task. In person, you would get 2 weeks per task, but this is summer sped up version, so you get 1 week per task. You're going to read it, and then for each task, you're going to have an exploration conversation, which is like, what did I just learn? What did I just read? What do I understand? What don't I understand? Specific to that one task, and then you're going to discuss that with each other. I will chime in if necessary. Okay, then there's also an application conversation. This is the second discussion board that each task also has. This conversation is for specific questions while you're doing your task that you do for me, which I will explain. That's right here, that's the writing. I'll explain that in a minute. But as you come to questions about the assignment itself, that's where those go, because that way everyone can see my answers. I will not answer specific emails about these assignments. I, of course, will answer your emails about anything else, but these specific assignments I want you to put on the discussion board so everyone can benefit from the answers, questions, answers, conversation, okay? So each task has 2 discussion boards. They do have points attached to them. Then a task also has its writing assignment. So when I click on task 1, application, writing, what I mean by application is let's practice, let's apply. What you're going to do, instead of trying to write a hypothetical EdTPA in this short of a time, is you're going to make notes to self and to-do lists on the template. So you'll open the template for task 1. You will write, okay, this is the prompt. I see the prompt. You leave the prompt. You don't delete the prompt. You just start typing between the little brackets on the template. There'll be little brackets. That's where you start typing. You're going to write, when I get to this, I'm going to remember this, and I'm going to remember that, and all of this, notes to self. I have heard also from students that this was super helpful later on, because it's the stuff you have time to think about now, and it will be great to have the reminders later. You can also do, to-do kind of lists, those kind of things. So here's my little disclaimer about this class. This is the last class for many of you. This class is not about a grade. I mean, I understand you are going to get a grade, but I would like you to think about this class as your first step in professional development and responsibility for yourself. All right? These tasks are going to get graded on completion, not so much on content. I'm not going to go through each little thing and make sure you have it right or wrong. I'm going to make sure you have given it thorough thought. All right? The only person that you are going to harm by skimping on this task is yourself. All right? This is not some place to just see how little you can get by with. You'll just be sorry. Do a good job on these tasks, and you'll all be sending me emails later saying, oh, I'm so glad we did this. I always tell this class, you can hate me now, but when you're writing your EdTPA, you'll all be texting me. I literally have text messages on my phone that come in at midnight, because that's when students do this work, that are the thank you texts, okay? So believe me, you want to do this work. All right, so that's the writing. So 2 discussion boards, and then you write your notes to yourself and your to-dos about task 1. And then each week you still have your reflective journal entry, your reading response. And then a couple of the modules have a activity that's going to be some sort of journal activity that goes with a video. Again, something I wish we were doing in class, and we're not. Okay, and then there's some frequently asked questions about task 1. Then if I give you a preview of module 4, you will see that it's all that same stuff, but it is now task 2, where you take a video of your class and you reflect on the instruction. So, of course, you don't have a cost to video. You are going to be doing, again, the notes to self. So what we're really doing in this class is we are dissecting the EdTPA prompts and templates so that you can do this later in real life. All right, instead of trying to pull hypothetical assignments off, we're going to just do a lot of really deep thinking about what we will be doing later. So that's module 4. Module 5 is task 3, same style. Module 6 is where you pull it all together and you reflect on what we've done. It's much shorter, a little bit of journaling and such. And then we have our final, which I have gone ahead and published because you could do this in any order. This is videos and slideshows about writing your resume and your cover letter. There's also a video about interviews. So this is your final, which you can do whenever you want. If you know you're going to have a crazy middle of July or end of July, maybe you want to do the final now, go ahead, get it done. It's all published. It is not dependent on you knowing this EdTPA stuff to do this, okay? So, but what I'm not going to do is publish 4, 5, and 6 quite yet. I need everybody to get through all of the questions on Module 3. Once we have done Module 3, which is Task 1, everybody will have a feel for how this is going to go, and then I'll go ahead and publish the other modules so you can work ahead. But I want everybody to focus kind of on the same module first. Okay? So that's how that's going to go. Now I'm going to look at my list. Okay, your reading journals and your reading reflections and your journal entries, those have due dates, but again, there's nothing to submit. They're just going into your journal, okay? And you'll show me in week 4 and in week 6. You're going to upload videos of those. I already told you that I switched it to 6 modules, even though I had told you 8 or 9 earlier. 2 discussion boards, I talked about that. Wow, okay, I went through my whole list already. Video activities, I talked about that. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about is a document called Rubric Level Progressions. This is the secret. Somebody in their discussion board said, I wish there was a secret. Okay, this is as close as I can get to that. So if you go all the way down to our templates, okay? Well, actually not templates. Those are the things you need for your task. Your rubric level progression is in, this Google Docs module, if you guys noticed this is stuff that I've collected from students. We've written notes, different things we've collected over the time of me teaching this class, several quarters. Browse through that if you're completely lost. Okay, I'm running out of time here. Okay, understanding rubric progression right here. There's the one for literacy. There's the one for math. Do yourself a favor and print that document out and put it in your notebook. I don't tell you this at the very first because I want you to get a feel for the handbook, because if you didn't know about the handbook and you jumped straight to this document, you might be tempted to skip the handbook. Can't do that. But this understanding rubric progressions will tell you the little tidbits that are the secrets. Like if you want to get a 4 instead of a 3 on rubric 7, add this little piece of information. It will tell you that specifically inside these documents. So just print whichever one goes with this content you chose, whether it's literacy or math, and then like tab it however you're doing your notebook. If you have your rubrics tabbed by task, then tab that document also. You could take it apart and stick it in by the rubrics. It's kind of odd because what it doesn't do is have the prompts. It just has the rubrics and this progression, which is like it's like a set of anchor papers almost, which is a set of papers that would have like, here's what a 2 would look like, and here's what a 3 would look like, and here's what a 4 would look like. So it's kind of like that. It really is the most informative piece of information you will use probably this quarter, right here, these 2 documents right here. Okay, so now that you know how the handbook's laid out, you understand the templates, I hope. For each task you have a template. They are right here under the template document. So task 1 is planning, task 2 is instruction, task 3 is assessment. So see, here's your commentary, template, template, okay? Those are the 3 things you'll actually be doing this quarter, and when you submit your documents, those are the ones where you have to type on their forms. Oh, and the context for learning. I'm not super worried about you guys doing a lot of context for learning practice because that is the one piece I find students have done in many other classes. Mostly I'm worried about the instructional commentary, planning commentary, and assessment commentary. Okay, so I only have 15 minutes on this video and we're down to 14 minutes and 30 seconds. I hope that's helpful. Here are some sample actual EdTPAs that passed right here. Math, literacy. Okay, take a look at those if you want to see some sample things that other students wrote. Okay, so I'm sure that I have now created more questions than answers, but I hope this video is at least a little bit helpful. Please use the discussion boards for questions, And don't be offended if I take your question on email and turn it into a discussion board. Okay? Talk soon.